What's up, everyone? This is your everyday consumer, Mikey G, and welcome to a Black On Live. And today I have a very special group here. Right here, they're a musical band, and they're called Shattered Aspirations. But as you can see, I got a good number of them. So I'm gonna go start with my man right here, James Rowland, and have you guys introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm James Rowland, Sonar of Shattered Aspirations.
What's
All
up,
right.
everybody? This is Kenny Howard, the bass man, aka Lazy Lover, aka whatever you want. Oh
um,
man, how's everybody doing?
all right, all right. So each one of y'all play an instrument. Of course, y'all in the band. What do y'all do in the band? What's your part in that?
I'm the producer, songwriter, singer. Um, as of right now, I come up with a lot of the ideas, but these guys kind of help keep me reined in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, that's my role.
All right, all right. What about you, Kenny? What do you play? What do you do?
I'm pretty much I co-produce with James and a little bit of songwriting. We're all involved in that.
All right,
And I am the bassist of the band.
all right. So, and what about you, see Maestro? What do you play, man?
I play drums. Yeah, I've been playing with these guys for some time now. I would say what, since the pandemic kicked off.
Oh man,
So that's
okay.
probably been a little bit over a year ago.
About
So yeah,
2 years, yeah, man.
pretty fun. Yeah.
Speaking of the pandemic, did that even affect you guys really that much? As far as when it hit and everything, things shutting down, not being able to do shows
Yeah,
and what it.
Yeah,
it totally changed everything. Like I had to like reinvent how we're going to practice, how we're going to do things. It totally changed everything.
Mm, I
Yeah.
believe that.
yeah.
It
Look,
shut me
we
down.
were eager to do some live stuff, but yeah, put things on hold for a minute.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, man. I can't imagine how big of an impact it had on. I mean, people aren't able to do live shows. That's like the bread and butter, especially for a lot of musicians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm-mm. So
Absolutely.
what is Shattered Aspirations? What kind of music do you do? Do you guys make and whatnot?
Um, Honestly, it's like right now it's a mixture. I would say funk, hip hop, R&B, soul music.
Yeah.
But for me, it could be anything because I don't want to get caught into playing one type of anything. It's almost
Hmm.
like if I feel it, I'm gonna write it. I hope that if I like it when I write it, somebody else will end up liking it as well.
Right.
And so me, I like all styles of music. So we had one song that I was writing,
Hmm.
and I said, no, I'm gonna switch it up, and make a bossa nova beat to it, right?
Okay.
And I was digging it the heck out of it. But Kenny's like, yo, I don't know about this bossa nova beat you got. It's like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
like, I don't know what's our audience gonna be with bossa nova. You gonna have a bunch of old people dancing to it. I was like, man, I just dig it.
Yeah,
Man, I hear
it's a
that.
process. It's a
It's tricky.
process.
It's tricky to find that spot, like to be able to be like, all right, am I making this for me, or am I making it for the masses? Just like a healthy balance between the two.
I honestly, I think you have to create things out of honesty, and you have
Mm.
to create it from a place where you enjoy doing it. And because art is so subjective that if you try to create things for somebody else, it's not genuine. So you got to really love it. And
Yeah.
when you love it and when you really do it that way, then more of you comes out. So like the way Kenny plays bass,
Mm-hmm.
he plays a lot of times on what he feels and those things that catch you in a certain way that is almost religious or spiritual. Same with Corey. When he's on the
Right.
drums. We had a jam session yesterday and he was kind of laughing afterwards because when they say give the drummer some, yeah, Corey took all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like, yo, you can have some, but you gotta save some food for us too, man.
Yeah,
You see, he's killing it over there. Huh?
yeah. He was. He was.
Man, I tell you what, though. It's got to be tricky though to be able to come together as a band because you got your own creativity. I'm sure Kenny got his own creativity to be able to try to put that together and make that work cohesively, make it sound good.
The beauty about it is the way that we do things. As far as Shattered Aspiration, we don't have like there's a way we do things. We have a sound, so to speak. But at the same time, like, everybody brings something different, so it can always change. Even songs that we wrote, we go and practice. We'll flip it. Go practice because we just try different things. So you might fall in love with a song, and you go to the show, and you might hear bits and pieces of it, but we're gonna flip it, mix it up. And my background as a DJ also, I like to mix things up.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of it, man. You can't have the same sound every single time. You got to change it up, something big,
Right.
Yeah. I think that's another thing that's good about this particular project about Shattered Aspirations. We all have slightly different backgrounds and experiences with different things. So we all get together, and when we get together, if it's genuine, then we're having fun. If we're not having fun, then it's not genuine sometimes. So we try to keep that in mind as we go forward. So things may start out a certain way, but they don't necessarily end up that way.
Right. And one thing I like to add to that is it's so important to have chemistry. Meaning, like, you can have somebody could be the best drummer, best bassist, best guitar in the world. If you don't get along with them, if it's not somebody that you could be around outside of the music, then it's going to be a bad experience.
Yeah.
So like everyone who's part of this, we might have met through the music, but we end up being family and friends because of it. Because even if I don't do music with one of these guys, I can still hang out with them and just whatever, And like I said, that's just how I feel. And I try to surround myself with like-minded people like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so it really does affect it. Like, if you can't get along with someone, your music just can't. It just don't work together, huh?
The music will suffer a little bit in certain places, if not in its entirety. At the same time, like I said, as we do this music and we do it for the masses and we hope it be received by the general public, it's still a certain amount of gratification that we get from it. So we try to keep that in mind. So it's not necessarily for us, but we try to enjoy it and have and dig it and have fun with it as well.
I hear that. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, what are you about to say? What are you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, like I met James. It's been about 5-6 years now, maybe 5-6 years ago, and it's interesting to see where a lot of the songs that he had and he brought to the table, how they started out and where they are now. If you hear them in their infancy, it's like completely. Some of them are completely different than the way they sound now. So that process that we've been going through, it's been a good process for me, a learning experience. I've learned some stuff. James has learned some stuff, and it just grew from there. Corey came. He's part of our nucleus. We have a nucleus that continues to grow. It just gets better as we go along. So we're having fun. I'm having fun. It's not always fun, but I'm having fun. We're having fun.
That's what's up. That's what's good. No, I know what you mean. You got to get along with your bandmates, your teammates.
Oh yeah.
Music has actually been able to bring me closer to people that I wasn't close to before. I did an interview a while back with my brother Trey. He has his own business. He does custom paint jobs, but he's also a great producer as well. And him and I, we didn't get along when we used to work together. We actually we got along, but we didn't really talk to each other or deal with each other until we found out that we both had music in common. So he started coming over to my places when I was building my studio, and it came together so nice because he was sick with bass and drums. My thing was the piano. I was good with chords and stuff, and we we put some nice stuff together, man.
Yeah, the chemistry, like James said, chemistry is very important. Like we don't always agree on everything,
right?
But we always come to a calming point for the betterment of the band, for the betterment of the music, for lack of a better word, and just to keep things moving. So we don't always agree, but we always agree at the end to meet in the middle.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, like my philosophy is it's always what's best for the song. So even though I might think I'm the best person at that moment, somebody might come in that joint and blow me out the box, and I gotta be willing to say, you know what, they're better.
Yeah, there's no room for ego in it, right? You gotta be
no ego.
No, because we're these songs are our kids. And so sometimes your kids need a brand new pair of sneakers, and they might want Nikes, but you know what? Those Adidas is gonna be better for you.
I hear
you get some Adidas.
But yeah, I hear that. But you know what? We got a couple people in here. I'm gonna go ahead. I want to give them a taste of something. You guys just posted the latest single, "Let You Know," right? And I just want everyone to know what we talking about right here. This is actually one of my favorite songs. The only one I know, but it's great. Can y'all hear it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. I'm about to fix this right now. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. It just started playing. I thought y'all could hear. I'm over here all by myself. Getting ready to vibe. But you know what? Now I'm having trouble with this. Oh no. This is not good. You know what? I'm gonna figure it out as I go.
Okay.
But yeah, tell me real quick, how did you come up with the name Shattered Aspirations?
My thought process was to have something that's different. So like I'm sitting there listening to music. A lot of the music I'm listening to have like the same 808. And I'm digging the 808, but I don't need it all the time. So I'm thinking, you know what? I want people to, when they listen to us, to have a different, view on everything. So I said, let's shatter the way you think. That's, if you're aspiring to having, just a hip hop group, or you're aspiring to be, R&B or country song, you know what? We're going to change that. You might one day come to, and we might rock some country. We might rock some hip hop. We might rock some house music. It's just whatever we feel. That's what we're gonna do. And I don't want to get pigeonholed into like one type of thing. Like me, I'm a big Prince fan growing up.
Okay.
When I used to go to a Prince concert, you hear rock and roll, you hear a little jazz, you hear, some R&B, you hear all that stuff, and that's what I got used to. And also, if we go to a show, I'm always used to hearing something different. Like I like the album of most people. When I go to a show, it's boring because it's the same thing. I like going someplace and hearing something different, or hearing some creativity where people mix things up. And the cool thing about all these guys, that's easy for them. Like I said, that jam session yesterday, like I said, it was impromptu. We wasn't planning on it. One guitar player name is Grant Strickland. He started playing like a little James Brown riff. The next, Corey comes in with the drums. Kenny come with the bass, and I tried to videotape it, but I sucked at it.
You got the audio.
The sound was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was talking about getting a drummer. So I wish I had it on video, because it went off, man. And if you look at his webpage, like he's like pop 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 pop. And he killed it, man. He killed it.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
But it's just it's just taking things and making it fun again.
Yeah, definitely.
We've all been there where, like I said, me coming from doing music. I've done covers. We've all done covers, and covers are cool. They're fun. But you can't. My belief is you can't retire off a cover. You could grind off a cover, but you can't retire off a cover. You want to retire off of your stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
As far as the Shattered Aspiration, I just want to piggyback on what what James said.
Mm-hmm.
It could, I think it, we've had this discussion before, James and I, it can mean certain things to certain people.
Mm.
Um, all of us collectively, I'm pretty sure, have been in this music thing for years, for a
Mm.
while. And we've had our ups and downs, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what Shattered Aspirations signifies for this group and for everybody involved is that there's no quit in us.
Right.
So we're going to continue to do this thing regardless of what, you know, happens, what, because we all have dreams and aspirations that we may not reach or may get shattered at some point in time, but you got to keep going. And for me, that's what that name symbolizes, that we we're gonna keep going regardless, for and that's the message to people, is to don't give up. You know, we've all had aspirations that may have been shattered, but we're still here and we're still doing this thing, and we're going to continue to do it.
Hey, that's a great message right there, man. That's great.
Yeah, that's the message I like for people to get from Shattered Aspirations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. It's like it's funny because yeah, that you aspire to do it. It's your aspirations. A lot of people hope to be able to add revenue to it, be able to make a living off of it. But at the same time, adding when money gets involved, when you start actually living off of it, a lot of times it loses that fun. You know, and like, is that something you guys struggle with? Have you gotten to that point where it's like, man, it's not feeling the same?
I get that way when I'm mixing something for 40 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and I hear the same track over and over again, and I get like, then it feels like work to me. But
Right.
then, when everybody gets together and you play it, then it doesn't feel like work anymore. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and let me say this: when I hear somebody, you know, like for instance, I had a track one time, you know, way before I met everyone, that I wrote. It was a throwaway track for me, and I posted it, and a lady from New Zealand contacted me. She's like, "Yo, that song moved her," and
Mm.
I was like, "Well." At that point, I'm thinking, you know what? Something that I didn't even think much of. It moved somebody else in a different way, and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
motivated me to kind of keep moving forward. So a lot of times when I start feeling that way, like, oh, I can't take this anymore, and then somebody else hears it, and then it's kind of like, oh wow, there's a reason why I was doing that. I just
right,
didn't know the reason.
right.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
have to tell yourself that even though you may hear this thing a million times,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's new to everybody else.
All
So
right.
it's just a process. It's just the nature of the beast, so to speak.
All right.
Um, you know, but yeah, James has been hard at work writing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got a lot of material, and I think that kind of made it a little easier out of the gate for us.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things that I remember when James and I got together is that he made it clear that we're going to treat this thing like a business if we wanted to run like a business or be a business. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of been part of our mantra, is to try to do things in a professional way, um, because when you do it that way, then people receive it that way. So we try not we do the business part, and James is really key on the business part as well. But we still got to put the music out and keep things going, you
Okay.
know. So no, we don't let it get us down. We don't. You know, I welcome the business part of things. Um, you know, it's it's really what we're trying to, the groove that we're trying to get into is to get into the business part of this thing.
Okay. All right.
Um, but as far as the music go, we would do it for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you do it for free, I do it for free
I know
for a
that.
minute. For a minute
Let,
anyway.
let me piggyback on the business thing. Like my
Mm.
thoughts were, um, one, if you're gonna do a show, if you want to book a show, most places will treat you differently if you have the proper presence. So if you
Right.
don't have your website, if you don't have, everything to go along with, if you don't have a project, then they just treat you like you just a regular mom and pop person. They're not going to give you the same respect as somebody who's established and can prove it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not going to do it. And obviously, you want to get butts in the seats, but you still got to have a professional. You have to have your press kit and things like that. When people look for, they're expecting those things, because the average person who goes out and looks for a band, they're not looking. They don't might even know who you are, but they go to your website or whatever. They see it, then that's probably their first time they're going to get acquainted with you. So you got to make sure you have your product, and that's what it is. It's a product that you want to make sure that it's on point, because they might come just one time. You never know who's going to feel you, but they come that one time. If they see that it's kind of not done right, they're not going to really treat you correctly.
Yeah.
They just won't. And why would they? If you don't show people that they're supposed to respect you, why would they?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to give a shout out. My man Armed Atlas right here. He's asking what style of music do they do? And we already went over that. The funk, hip hop, or maybe is it more hip hop with a bit of funk?
R&B,
what do y'all think?
It's a mixture of everything. Little neo soul in there. It's feel good. It's grown and sexy. It crosses a few generations, I would say.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's I would put it in R&B.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to my man Armed Atlas. He has his own channel on YouTube.
What's up, Armed Atlas?
What's up, brother?
He does videos with guns and whatnot. He's big on the Second Amendment. I love his interviews. He's a great guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my man Kenny. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
No. You okay? Yeah, you okay?
I feel like I'm leaving out the drummer over here. Like the drummer, he's the most important part of the band right here, the heartbeat of the music.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So for when I'm getting his Corey, like you're the newest member, because they said they known each other for 5 years, but you came in about 2 years ago.
Yes.
What was that like to try to squeeze in? Because these two already got the rapport and all that. Was it tough being able to get acclimated, feel involved in the band?
No, not really, because it was just all about, the ability of just being able to know what they were doing and basically taking the time out just to go over it in my head, and then coming in and just laying down what I thought would be, necessarily the best groove for what was being presented.
Okay.
If that makes sense, right? So, it's just like variation. Every day goes by, it's always room for variation, no matter what you're doing. So, those things can make the biggest differences in anything that we do.
Let me say this. I don't think Corey's giving himself enough credit. So when I do something, right, and I create a beat, I might can build a car, but I can't drive it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like having like somebody who barely got a learner's permit, and they created something. They create this car. Then you got this IndyCar driver coming in, and like you said, wait a second, I didn't know you could do that with the car,
right?
I didn't know my own car could do that.
I didn't know. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I have downstairs, in the studio. I have, it's a drum kit. It's called the SE, at least it's SE Pro, right? And I bought it and think like, oh, this is nice, right? I'm like, I'm playing it, little stuff. I'm thinking, oh, I'm doing something. I was like, what? I didn't know they had that sound. What? I didn't know you could do that with it. And I was like, oh, And so he's not giving himself enough credit on what he could do.
Oh.
And so, he has made it so that the studio has improved, because now I'm watching what he's doing. I was like, oh, I gotta update my game, because I gotta make sure I got the right equipment for this man when he come here, because I don't want him to get like bored because he's carrying like 800 pounds worth of equipment to come over.
And look, we got a little small kid in there now, and that thing is like amazing. Like that thing puts out so much tap power.
It really does. Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up.
So our sound is evolving. It's like I say, it's an ongoing process, and we're always trying new things and looking to try new things. Corey was a great addition to this thing.
Appreciate it.
And if nobody else told him, we appreciate you, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
let me say
No
something else.
doubt, no doubt, man. Hey, thanks for having me.
Let me say this. So what we was working on yesterday, you know, it wasn't even Shattered Aspirations of. Corey actually is a leader of another band called Virtuosoul, right?
Okay.
And so, so he's been doing stuff for years. I said, yo, man, let's get you released. And so now he's working on the track that he's going to have a new song coming out under him, under that band, and it's called Hamlet Place. So that's what we were working on yesterday. And it's a lady that he knows that she's going to do some lyrics to it. She's coming in, and that's another thing I want to say that's important. All of us, every single one of us, is part of a pro, and what a pro is, you're part of an organization that makes sure that when we do a song that's released, we get the proper splits, the proper money goes to the right people. So the money doesn't go to me. The money goes to, it's already put out there. This is what it is. So when you listen to it on iTunes, if you buy it, whatever, that portion goes to the right people. And that's very important.
Yeah. It's a lot of.
I got the endorsement too this year. I got a symbol endorsement with a company called Soul Tone.
Okay.
And I'm working on another endorsement with a drum company called Gretsch Drums.
Okay.
So that's coming in real soon. So we'll see how it goes. But
like I said,
it's
we're gonna keep this bus rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Also, you see, let me say this because everyone's not here, but Kenny himself, he comes from another band. And he's been doing this. He's been released on iTunes and stuff like that. So he comes from a good pedigree. And everybody here, you don't see everybody, but everybody here, like our guitarist, he's classically trained, but he's a beast. He's a beast. We have another lady, her name that's part of the band, her name is Sarah Bab Williams. And the funny thing about, we got a song called Let You Know. No, not Let You Know. Tell Me What You Want, Ann, right? And so the very first time I let Corey listen to it, I'm singing in the first part. He's like, "Yeah, I dig it. That's nice. That's nice." But then when she came on, he's like, "Whoa, who is that?" And I said, "That's Bab." I said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh," and I keep telling everybody, like when you hear her, because she's actually does the background vocals on Boom Bap.
Okay.
But when you hear her blow, I'm telling you, man, she is unbelievable. She's unbelievable. Okay. She's special, man. She's special. Okay. And I've never heard anyone who could just with the range and just be like throwing runs like it's doing layups in the basketball courts. It's just so easy for her.
Right. Just talented like that.
Yes. I mean, it's good because people like that push you to do better, be better.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to go back and rewrite my vocals. I had to feel like, I gotta try this a little differently because I know I'm not going to ever be the Michael Jordan of it like she is, but I can at least be somewhat, James Worthy or Scottie Pippen. You gotta give me something.
No, I know what you mean. You got a good group of people that they challenge you to make yourself better.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the most important part of a band, I would say.
And then we got another brother who is not here. His name is Travis Davis. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
And and he plays keys, he plays sax, and he's a beast. So yeah, we got some good people, man, and it's going to be a lot of fun when we actually get out there live.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Absolutely.
But I think I got it right. I'm gonna get my radio voice on. So everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Shattered Aspirations with their #1 hit track, Let You Know. And I hope you guys can hear it. Can y'all hear it now? Yeah.
You know it's gonna get it, come on, jump on it. Yeah. I'm gonna let you know. This feeling got a rhythm, it's gonna get it, cause I let you know. You know it's gonna get it, come on, jump on it. Rhythm gonna let you know. This feeling got a rhythm, it's gonna get it, cause I let you know.
All right, that's all y'all getting. It sounds good. It sounds great. I love the sound, man. I do. I really
And one
do.
you gotta check out though also is the boom bap when
Dope.
C Knowledge comes in. I mean, the thing is with that track, man, that was like the first single that we put out, and I reached out to him, and he's always been a good friend of mine, and so he said he agreed to do it, and so I was very blessed, and we were very blessed to have him on it. And
Nice.
I can't say enough. And so you gotta. So again, this is his thing right here. You got to check him out also. That's the Philadelphian, and this wall I have back here. My opinion, you only could be fired to be on this wall. You know what I mean? And if you're not fired, you're not on this wall. And so he had a bunch of stuff out before, and all his stuff is good. It's fire. But this is the best one of all his stuff that he's done so far, and you got to cop it. You got to tell your people to get it because it's awesome. He's touring right now for the Diggable Planets, but it's a great album. I tell everybody, you know what, you got to practice to be great, but then you got to keep being great to be a legend. So he's going to be a legend one day. If you don't think he's a legend right now, I believe he is.
Okay, all right, yeah, man. I
all
mean,
of us
Yeah.
since
all
we
of us
name
gonna be legends.
dropping,
And you can go to the website, by the way,
No.
and you can buy these boom bap T-shirts if you like them. Support Shattered Aspirations. Get your boom bap T-shirt.
definitely
Shattered
support them.
Aspirations T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of that, y'all know my channel, Black Owned World. I do a lot of stuff to
Yes.
help people support Black-owned businesses and whatnot. Have y'all supported any Black-owned businesses in this recently in this month?
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
I have.
I have too.
Okay. All right. So tell me a couple. We're gonna start right here with James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's called My Reiki Spot. Now you can go, I can send you the link, but My Reiki Spot, my fiance, is her business. So, so if you don't know enough, she knows. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll sound ignorant because she knows a whole lot more about it. But what she does, she got these sound bowls, she got the gongs and things like that you don't think about is healing. And so like these rhythms that you feel, like you go to a club, that bass and those drums, it makes you want to move. It actually makes you feel good. So what she does something similar with what she does with the bowls and things. Like you sit there and you feel this thing. She has events and she goes out and she does it for a lot of people. And it's a cool thing. If you don't know anything about it, I say look into it. But go to My Reiki Spot.
How you spell Reiki?
Reiki.
Reiki. Okay.
And yeah, I mean it's that's what I support.
All right. You kind of have no choice.
That's it,
That's
my
your
Reiki
wife.
Spot. Yes. And if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see it there. There'll be a link or whatever. It's a great thing, man.
Right. All right. What about you, Kenny? What have you supported?
Well, the last place that I supported, my family and myself, we went to Rosa's Bar and Grill. It's on Light Street in Baltimore, Maryland. And I would suggest that anybody, if you're in the area, check this place out. Food was excellent. Prices was right. Service was good. And I definitely planned on going back. I'm not sure if it's Rosa or Rosie's, but it's on Light Street in Baltimore, Maryland. Check them out.
In Baltimore, Maryland. All right.
Can't go wrong.
Excellent. What about you, Corey?
Last weekend I played at an event that my cousin, pretty much, she had a grand opening for her farm. It's called BnB Harmony. It's in Whiteford. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. I mean, right now she just has corn on the fields, but I think she has about 15 acres of property up there. Yeah. And
So
it's all
Is she
hers.
a farmer or something like?
Well, she inherited the property from her grandparents on her mom's side. And yeah, she just took over and remodeled the house, and pretty much the house is designed for like when people come in town and they just need a place to stay, they can just, stay there, and they surrounded by the farmland and everything like that.
So it's like a bread and breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bed
Yep.
and breakfast.
That's
okay.
yep. That's what her goal is. Yep.
I check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
She
She's
on.
gonna have a lot of like natural, like organic foods and different stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I just heard recently about a BnB spot that they had to take them off of Airbnb, the app, because what they did was they took these old slave shacks and remodeled it, and then turns out some people, it got out that it used to be a slave shack, and then people didn't like it.
People didn't want to stay there.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like,
wow.
and some people got upset about it. I'm like, I could see some black people wanting to go stay there with their families, just to be like, hey, you guys don't know how well you have it, like with the kids, you know, like,
Yeah.
y'all got it too good, you know. We're going to stay at this slave shack. You can get a taste, just a taste.
Yeah.
It's the experience, you know.
Yeah, you know, like you gotta
funny
know
you
you're
say that.
blessed out here.
It's funny you said it because we went to the museum down in DC,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they walk you to the bottom and you walk your way up to the top, and they had the shack there. And it's funny you say the slave shacks because I remember visiting my grandmother down south, and they still lived in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. Hey, I mean, if you own it, if they own it, of course, I understand that. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine doing it. But I didn't see the outrage. I mean, one person was pissed off because the owner of it wasn't black. So they didn't think they should have been able to profit on it. But there was another black person who did. I was like, I don't see a problem with him doing that at all.
Right.
You know? But yeah,
I don't know, man, because the one that I seen with my grandmother, we used to go visit. They had an outhouse, and I wasn't feeling that.
Nah. Oh man.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
You see snakes around that joint?
Oh,
Kinds of stuff.
man,
That's
my dad
right.
from South Carolina, right? Nah, they don't. They got snakes out there and everything. So I know. You right.
Yeah.
I used to ride a 4-wheeler around, and they say if you ever run over a snake, put your feet up. If you don't put your feet up after you run over a snake on a 4-wheeler, every now and then they'll get stuck underneath the tire. They'll get wrapped up in it, and if you leave your feet down, they can bite you.
Bite you.
Oh wow.
They get you.
Wow.
So yeah, you gotta be careful. If you stop and that thing ain't rotating, they'll get you. But,
They'd be right there. Yeah. Wow.
That's good to know. I have seen things where they cut their heads off and they were still biting people.
oh yeah, they can still get
Really?
Yeah, they cut their head off, they still bite you.
What?
you. Yeah.
Crazy.
For a minute anyway.
Well, this month, I went ahead and bought some clothes from this black-owned brand called Black Jockey Clothing brand. They're nice. Go ahead, check them out. I like their stuff. My stuff is kind of form-fitting, so that's my contribution for this month on that. You know,
Black Jockey clothing.
clothing. Yeah. I'm more of a muscular build, and I like clothes that conform to my fit and slim, whatnot. You know.
Oh, you got a 6-pack, huh?
Yeah.
I got a keg.
It look good on you too, man.
That's a good one.
I don't know what I got. I can't see it.
Man, I tell you. But
Oh, man.
we're gonna jump into the meat and potatoes. The topic of today is that over the years and decades that black music has really influenced all kinds of different music out here. And a lot of it was stolen. Some of it was copied ever since from the 50s and 60s. I mean, we've influenced, rock, blues, jazz, all those things came from the black community. And it's amazing how long we have not been able to actually produce, profit from it, It's crazy. I mean, even when hip hop became popular, at first it was just a bunch of people on the block, break dancing, rapping out on the corners, outside the subways. And I remember I was in a couple years back. I went to Tokyo, and I see people out there. They got the boombox, rap battling. I'm like, they don't even do that in New York no more. So we influence people worldwide, and it amazes me how we for so long we haven't been able to really been able to profit from that. We'd be so much further. How do you guys feel about that? Am I crazy?
I could go ahead. I'll let you go first, Kenny.
No, you're not crazy. One of the things I was talking about boom bap. Boom bap is actually slated as a song that is a tribute to the culture. That's a tribute to hip hop. If you listen to it and you hear Craig's rap in particular, he talks about a lot of the older rappers that he came across and things like that. So that song is like paying homage to that whole hip hop scene. The good thing about, I think the good thing about all of that is when we've profited from it from the point of view that it's the one thing that kind of brings us together. It's a unity thing, kind of. You got to look, when you look back and you see how it started really with nobody else's support. It was just us, it's like FUBU, for us, by us, it was like we supported it. We kept it going when other people tried to kill it, said it was going to die. It was just a fad. We kept it going. And then we kept it going to the point where everybody said, well, okay, hey, this thing isn't going anywhere. And then everybody jumped on board. The sad part about it is that everybody jumped on board, and then we kind of lost a little bit of control of it when everybody jumped on board. So, that's one of the missions that Shattered Aspiration has, is to just put out good music and, do things for the community and let them know. I think the band movement is coming back.
Hey.
We had that whole funk explosion during the 70s, and it was all bands. All the bands coming out of Dayton, Ohio,
Right.
And then when hip hop came along, we kind of lost a little bit of that, and everybody went to drum machines and rapping, and it was like, where'd the bands go, and it's coming full circle. We're coming back into that. The thing is, now we're coming back with the bands, but the bands are bringing the hip hop with them, So that's pretty much where the movement that we're in, and that's one of the reasons why our debut album is titled The Movement.
Right.
Yeah, and also, I want to jump on that. A lot of times we were taken advantage of because we weren't educated. We didn't know any better. To offer somebody who is struggling, let's say $10,000, $25,000, that's a lot of money to them. But really, if somebody's willing to give you that kind of money, they already know they're going to make $1 million off of it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing of not being educated. And then like people lose their masters and stuff like that because, again, you don't know. So my thing is, with us, we make sure we sign the NDAs. After we sign it, we don't even let you listen to the music that we have coming out unless you're part of that clique. And then once you're part of that, we make sure that you're part of a pro. So you have your, make sure that you get what's yours coming to you. That's another thing. So education is very important, because a lot of times, people will see an opportunity to take something from you, but if you got your, eyes crossed, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, they can't really do that to you as much.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you earlier about it, how the lady who actually, a black lady, owns the Terminator. She owns the Matrix, and they try to steal it from her.
Yeah, I remember that. You blew my mind when you told me that. I had no idea.
I don't remember her name at the moment.
I'll look it up real quick while you're talking. But yeah.
So she
I want to know her name. That's new to me too.
Yeah, I can't remember her name at the moment. He's gonna look it up. Yeah. But she created that. And so, James Cameron, all them guys saw an opportunity and they took it. But the thing about it is she had records going years back stating that she had that. intellectual property. So when they went to federal court, she won. Now you don't hear about it because they don't want you to hear about it, but she won.
They lost.
Yeah.
They had to go back and pay her, which rightly so. But let me say this: it's not just a black thing. Anybody who finds an opportunity to take advantage of somebody who doesn't know, they will try to do that.
Yeah.
So it's important that no matter who you are, you protect yourself and you make sure that you do all the right things to make sure that you have your intellectual property. Because a lot of times what happens is when we're creating something, whatever it is, whether it's poetry, whether it's music, whether it's any type of intellectual property, we might think because we're in our house, in our basement, wherever we are, that it's not worth anything, but it really is. And people make you think that it doesn't have value, but you do have value. And that's the thing I try to teach everyone. Make sure you protect yourself.
I understand that. That's so true. And by the way, the name of the person that was able to sue, because she actually played a part in both the Matrix. I'm sorry, in the Matrix and the Terminator, which is. I had no idea. That blew my mind when you told me that. I was like, that is crazy. And as y'all both know, those are very big franchises.
Oh yeah.
That's legacy.
Yeah, her name is Sophia Stewart.
Money.
Look it up, y'all. Look it up.
Stewart?
That's legacy money. That means her family and her going in generations will be taken care of.
Yeah. I'd be happy just to be her dog. Shoot.
Wow.
Tell me about it. But the people don't get their props.
I tell you though, man, but to be straight on it, they've been stealing for years, man. Now everybody seeing now that they're starting to get exposed.
Well, they do get exposed. They do. I mean, but at the same time, sometimes I feel bad, sometimes I don't, because truth of the matter is, and I didn't start thinking about it this way till I talk to more entrepreneurs, right? Whereas it's like an unwritten rule. The person who takes the most risk should get see the most profit, the most benefits.
Correct.
So yeah, the artists, they're on the street, they're doing their thing, and then this person notices them and decides, I want to sign you. Now that person, he doesn't really know the game that well. Of course, the person signing them knows the game. So, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this person who's signing them, they're fronting the money up for the shows, for the travel, for the venues. So a lot of times it's an investment, and you don't know if that person is going to blow up and you're going to be able to make all your money back.
It's one thing to sign up for your rights, as long as you really have rights. It's another thing for somebody knowing that they're going to get over on you. And that's what I said before. You got to be educated. You have, it's not that person's fault that they decided they're going to get you.
Right.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody decides I'm going to get you and you let them get you, that's on you. But at the same time, you need to be educated so they don't get you. Yes.
Yeah, you're right about that. So Corey, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, brother. Go ahead and what were you saying earlier about it?
Oh, no. I was just saying, like, they just been, stealing for years, and just now getting caught. Everything is starting to become an exposure. You know what I mean? Just with things that's going on in the world today, if you look at it, the exposure is here.
Oh yeah, it's tough to get away with stuff nowadays, especially with online. We got social media. What Khalees came out not too long ago, trying to.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There's nothing new. It's just now it's being noticed. It's up front. It's being videotaped. It's been recorded.
I mean, look at Trump. Look at Trump in that situation. It's like, all that stuff he did. You never thought he was going to get caught, but you see, it always finds a way back.
Yeah, it surprised me when Pharrell got in trouble because he for Happy, I think it was Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
It was Blurred Lines.
Yeah, Blurred Lines.
Oh, it's Blurred Lines.
Yeah, Blurred
I wasn't
Lines
happy
from Justin Timberlake or something like that.
It was him and
Robin Thicke.
Robert
T.I.
Robert Thicke, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So it blew my mind. I know, like, Pharrell's talented. He don't need to steal from nobody.
But you know what? Sometimes maybe it was all based on intent. So if he did not, he could have created the beat and it could have been genuine that he created it.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it might have enough structure and it kind of mimics certain things, in the court of law, they found it, that he had to pay some money. But doesn't mean he actually stole it. It just means, because he got influenced. Everyone gets influenced by something or someone. There really isn't any original music out there, to be honest with you.
Well, that's true.
We all have somebody.
Everything has been come from something.
And so he probably tapped into something that he felt was genuine, and just other people felt it wasn't. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's guilty. It just means that other people just feel that it was similar enough where he should pay.
Well, you should know in that world, like, everybody has a code, right? So it's kind of like, okay, he knows better, even though, you know what I mean? Like you just said, James, to us, it's like, oh, it's not that bad, but it's a certain code that they have in those type of, you know what I mean, networks between each other. They know, okay, that's my material. You know what I mean? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, man. So
because it's one thing I can say real quick.
Yeah.
This is true that two people can have the same idea and not be from the same place. They can have the same music and same everything and not be from the same place. And then it goes to who released it first.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to get your stuff documented as soon as possible.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. What other gems do you guys know that people can use to protect their own ideas and thoughts, inventions, and whatnot? Because earlier you mentioned hot dog. I already forgot.
Yeah, well, you have ASCAP. You get it. That's one of the places that we have ASCAP, BMI. That's one of the pros. That's one of the places. But just copyright. What some people don't know though is, even though you might not do an official copyright, as long as you have a time, like say, I create a track, and if I have a record of that track on my computer from the time that I've done it, and it's timestamped with that metadata, then that I can use that information if I go to court. But if the thing is, you have to have that, so that kind of stops like somebody else having the same idea. That's why I said it all depends on who came up with the idea first.
Okay. Yeah, I remember someone telling me about what they call the poor man's copyright, whereas they would burn their stuff to a CD and then mail it to themselves. That way it'd be a government record of it being sent to you, and you just never open the envelope.
Right.
Until if something comes up, you just go ahead, bring it to court.
Right.
They play it. Oh, okay, yeah, you had this for a minute.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when you're in a studio, like, we own our masters. So if somebody comes up and says, well, I did this, I'm saying, okay, that's cool. So show me how you came up with that.
Right.
I can show you every single line of every instrument that was played and tell you when it was done. Ooh. So if you come up with an idea that's the same exact, everything's the same, and you did it before me, then I gotta back off.
Oh, right. Go ahead and mute. Yeah.
I mean, so people, it's the education thing. It's a testament to, like what I said before about how we were from the beginning, say we try to do things in a business manner to keep it business. Years ago, you played an instrument, you joined a band, and you hope for the best, that type of thing. But we do things a little differently. Like anybody we bring in, we make sure that they have their affiliation. And that's to protect them. To see to it that they get what's due to them, monetary and credit wise.
Yeah.
So we just try to be honest and upfront with people and give everybody a fair piece.
Yeah.
Of what we're trying to do. And it's been working out pretty good. It's like before all the paperwork is done, before a song is released.
Mm-hmm.
So when a song is released, we don't have to go back and discuss or have a conversation about who's getting what or who's doing what or whatever. It's already worked out. And we just move on to the next thing, you know. So we try to keep it organized, keep some of the confusion down, and you know, we have fun. Keeps the fun factor up.
Yeah, and it keeps that confusion from happening, because what happened a lot of times in the past would, you know, you get a bunch of guys or ladies together and they'll create a track or whatever they'll create, whatever again intellectual property is, and they'll go through the process of creating whatever it is, and then it gets to the point where the money, but they never talked about it in the beginning. You know, and that's so important, because you have to kind of go through the process of talking business first to open it up to be creative. You know, if you're always worried about, you know, and there's a piece of trust here too, because when everyone came on board to kind of help with this product, they trusted me to do the right thing, and so I have to make sure that I don't lose that trust. And you want to make sure, because to me, there's no amount of money worth losing a friend over.
No.
You know, because that money could come and go, but that relationship that you have with a person, it could be years. You know, and the thing about it is, this industry, whether it's music, whatever work you do, it's a small world. And once you get a bad, you know, people start thinking, well, you know, James is this type of person that will take advantage of you, then I'm not going to make it too far.
Right. Nobody's going to want to really work
Nobody's
with
going to want to work with you. You can be the best person in the world as far as what you do, but if they're not going to get paid, they're not going to want to work with you.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing. One more thing I'll say, and what I believe, a lot of times your payment isn't monetary. Sometimes your payment could be that knowledge that you can take to grow off of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know that's like working with someone, collabing. Like I said, my man Trey, I took a lot from him just watching how he made the bass line and how he made it hit like he did, and the drums. And I take little bits of that and try to implement it into the music now when I'm working on things every now and then. But
so you had like a free school.
Yeah. Oh man, I had the hard school. Life experience.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like a lot of times people say, "Well, I didn't get this," and I said, "Well," I tell people, like, "What did you get out of it?" Well, I didn't get paid. I says, "But you got the exposure.
Yeah,
you got the knowledge,
networking.
You got so much other stuff out of this, and just that networking alone is probably worth more than what you would have gotten. You know,
yeah.
And so it's like you're playing checkers versus chess. You got to play chess. You got to think long term.
So true. That's so true. Networking, I can't imagine how important it is as a musician to be able to network and meet people, because that next person might work with you on the project that might be the biggest thing that blows you up.
Yeah.
Man, you know how many times a musician will work with somebody else that don't really even know, but might just jam out for that first couple minutes or so of the hour.
Right.
And then they get a gig out of that. The guy was like, "Yo, man, I need a bass player. I need a drummer. I know that you can do it. I got a gig over here. Can you mind jumping in?" That happens all the time. You know, and if people think that you are a person that they can't be around, you're not gonna get those opportunities.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is that most of the people, they say, everyone always says the music industry is grimy. People are out to get you. It's cutthroat. Honestly, I think most of the people I've met involved in music, good people, disciplined people. I haven't met too many actual musicians that were out to hurt others. I think the music industry becomes bad when it gets to the business side of things. The businessmen that come in between and start talking, "Hey man, so-and-so talked bad about you. You know, you should really talk about going solo." Or, you know, I think the business side of it really ruins the musical industry.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're what you're saying there. And then a lot of times it's people who never played a musical instrument in their life trying to make musical decisions. I think that has, you know, I mean, it's okay to be a businessman. Businessman is a businessman. And then you have people around you who advise you on certain things that you may not be involved in. But I think a lot of decisions are made sometimes, especially early on back in the day. You just had people just invested in starting a record company and then went out and found talent. I was thinking about that when you said before, when you were talking about somebody stealing somebody else's song or something like that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I was just thinking at that time when it happened. I think like Pharrell getting caught was a good thing for the music industry, because all the independent artists like ourselves, you know, we need that extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
To blanket what we're trying to do. But when the people come and they're taking that risk, like you put it, that risk, and they're putting out, you know, all of that, but at the same token, they need you.
Right.
They couldn't run the business without you. You know, they have to go. The nature of the business is to go out and find talent. You know, so the only way you're going to make money off of record sales and stuff like that is to find the talent. I think the problem has always been that the musicians haven't been educating themselves on the business end of things. So when the two worlds meet, you got this musician over here who he's not all of them, but they just want to, you know, most musicians just want to play and have people enjoy their music and you know, be liked, right?
Yeah.
You know, the businessman, he's thinking of how he can make money off it. You know, how can he get a return? So when those two worlds meet, sometimes it's usually the businessman that makes out better, because usually the musician, it doesn't have the resources to do what they're doing. So that's why one of the things that we're doing is that we're not just getting together and just playing and having fun or whatever. We still want to dot our I's and cross our T's and do stuff like that in the business end of things. So, and we haven't even talked about sound fader.
Sound fader.
You want to talk a little bit about sound faders?
Oh yeah,
so Shattered Aspirations is the group. That's all of us get together. But we're working on Sound Fader. So we work out of Sound Fader Studios, which is our studio.
Okay.
And we use that studio, or you know, it's going to be public soon for other people to come in and use our services. And so it's a real studio where if you are thinking about creating something, you come in. You know, we kind of evaluate what you want to do, and if it's a service that you want. So if you want a single release, we'll walk you through getting a single. If you're looking for a full project, we'll walk you through that process. And if you need a musician to help you, you know, we have all that. So we have, you know, the bass, drum, you know, keyboard, saxophone player, you know, guitar, whatever you need, or a vocalist, we have that for you. Obviously, if it's a project, each piece of it is more, but it gives you an opportunity to say, I'm looking for a certain sound. Can you help us? And not only will we do that for you, we want to make sure that, you know, there's education involved. We're going to, as far as tell you everything you need to get your product out there, and also tell you how you need to distribute it so that you get paid for it. That's important. You know, a lot of people don't think about those things. You think about getting paid, but they don't know how to get paid. We're going to tell you, this is how you need to go at it to get paid. And these are the things and steps you need to take. So not only will we do that for you, but let's say you come in and you don't have a website. Well, we can build your website for you as well, as far as music. Not everyone's website, but things like that. And if you go to our website, shatteraspirations.com, everything was done out of Sound Fader Studios. But if you look at it, we have merchandise, you know, things that people can touch. And then, you know, we're going to have CDs. We're going to have, you know, people don't really do CDs like they used to, but there's still some people who do. And some people like to have that tangible product that say, I got this.
I still do.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
really,
you know, that's just one of the things that I think is important. So it's not just a studio in a sense. I mean, it's there to be profitable, but it's more than just that. It's like want to make sure that you have the education you need so that you're successful, because it's a business. And everybody who does this, you are your own contractor, so to speak. This is your own business. And so it's very important that you're educated, so that if the business person comes in and they want to help you, you understand what they're doing. And I tell a lot of people, a lot of times your success is not who you hire, it's who you fail to fire. So sometimes you got to let people go because they're not helping you achieve your goals. And you want to make sure you surround yourself, because somebody will always, a salesperson is always going to find a way to smooth you over to get your money.
Oh yeah.
You find a lot of times they don't work hard at keeping it.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you stay on top of your stuff. That's very important.
There's two type of people I keep an eye on when I meet them. It's the fast talkers and the smooth talkers. If you talk too smooth or too fast, I'm watching you. I'm like,
yeah.
I won't even ask him where the bathroom is. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like that. I like that.
It comes in handy sometimes, though.
I mean, if I need a wingman at the bar, I like get smooth talker.
That's how I got my fiance. I had to smooth talk a little bit. Fast talking wasn't working. She wasn't feeling the fast talking.
Oh man! But I like what you guys do. You don't just help with music or inspiration or anything in developing music. You also help on the business side of things.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of studios out there, a lot of places that people can go to get a product done. But one thing I hear a lot of times is you have people that will go and spend tons and tons of money to get a single, thousands of dollars to get a single. Then after it's done, you listen to it, like there's certain things on this that's not done yet. But it could be done if you give them another couple $1,000s. And I'm thinking like, yo, that's cool and all if you're happy with the product, but there's a better way of going at this. If you just take some ownership on what you're doing, don't depend on somebody to do it for you all the time, you could have got a lot further. And that's where the education comes in, and like I said, it's your business. This is your business. If you decide to be an artist, you're now becoming a business person. You're now an entrepreneur. This is your business. You got to look at it, doing shows. Some people don't think about it. If you go away to do a show, there's per diem, there's hotel rooms that you got to pay for, there's travel. So you can't agree to go over to Japan unless you get enough money to cover that and cover your show and cover you to get back, you and your people.
Yeah, as a Big Boy said, Greyhound don't float on water.
No.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yes,
sir. So as you can see, Shattered Aspirations and Sound Fader, it's a vision. It's a strong vision. And we talked about this even early on when we first met, early in our relationship. We talked about the vision that Sound Fader had, and for Shattered Aspirations. So we surround ourselves with people who have that same vision, and it keeps the product fresh and interesting.
Okay, all right. We're gonna start winding it down. I'm gonna go ahead and before then, I'm gonna put my radio voice back on, so just so you guys can hear another great song from this awesome band. I'm gonna play the Boom Bap real quick, if it's all right with you guys, and let everyone hear about it. Let me get it set up and make sure it's ready to go this time, because I'll be messing up. But I do love that how you guys are definitely educating people more on the business side of things, because that's, law, rules. I tell people knowing guidelines and law, musical copyright law, all that stuff, it's like a double-edged blade. It can work for you or against you, but the person who knows how to wield it better is going to win. So that's how I've always thought of it. It helped me out. I'm going to play this real quick, the Boom Bap.
Hell
Hip hop, you the love of my life. Hip hop, you the love of my life, right? Hip hop, you the love of my life. Hip hop, you the love of my life, right? Hip hop, you the love of my life. Hip hop, you the love of my life, right? Hip hop, you the love of my life,
Loving you is easy, easy as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
There is nothing better than having you right here with me.
Hip hop, you the love of my life,
We were more than friends. You and me until the end, baby, yeah. Baby, yeah.
Hip hop, you the love of my life. Hip hop, you the love of my life.
Ooh, I like that. That's all y'all getting. That's all y'all getting right there.
Wait. If we go like the 3-minute mark, just listen to C for a second.
See for I'll do that for you. You got to hear the best part, y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all miss out on that. I'm gonna go ahead and play this again.
There's a flavor, a platform to speak my truth and never waver. Check respect you. G and Flash and break beat through. Cool Herc and the rock steady crew. The Cold Crush brothers, the body zoo. Hip hop, you the love of my life. Hip hop, you the love of my life, Rob. From the first time I heard them intoxicating rhythms, been on a mission to recreate them. Crowds go crazy, hands to the ceiling. Adrenaline level goes way past the million. B-boys is breaking, fly boys be illin'. While I'm on stage, sound boys be killing.
Ooh, that's like a whole different song right there, man.
Yeah.
I like that change up.
He got it.
So that's C knowledge on that right there, right?
Yes,
from
yes.
Diggable
On the guitar,
Planets.
We got Thomas Epps.
Ooh.
He's the ones that's ripping it up. He's crushing it.
Oh,
You know,
man.
that's Kenny on bass. That's Bab on vocals, background vocals. That's me singing. And yeah, man.
Yo, that's great. That's great right there. Yeah, you guys, I can tell y'all gonna go far. Y'all gonna do great things. Y'all already doing great things, honestly. It's just a matter of getting it out there and everyone else being able to recognize it, you know?
Absolutely.
Whatever we do from now on, man, we're gonna let you know first.
Oh, definitely let me know. Let me know when you start doing live shows. I want to be there. Y'all gonna be like, do I know that dude? He look familiar.
Oh yeah, we're gonna let you know.
So go ahead, let everybody know where they can find your music, where they can find you, even your personal social medias, so that they can, come by and subscribe and follow. You can let them know as well about what's happening.
If they go to shatteredaspirations.com, it links to all of our social media.
Okay. All right.
And you can go listen to it on all platforms. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, we're everywhere.
Excellent. What about you, Kenny? You got any personal social media you want to let people know about?
Shattered, we're gonna channel everything through shatteredaspirations.com right now for the music. We all have our own Facebook pages. But yeah, if you go to shatteredaspirations.com, you can get the schedule. Mm-hmm. We'll be posting upcoming shows, merchandise. If you want to get one of these T-shirts with the boom bap on it, or Shattered Aspirations like James is wearing, and we're just going to keep it going and come up with some new and fresh things. You join our mailing list, you get a free shirt, right?
Well, let me say this. You go into the running for a free shirt. You
go in the running for it, so it's not guaranteed, y'all.
Let me hit the brakes on that one a little bit.
He's like, I ain't got that many shirts, man. I ain't got that many shirts. You
join our mailing list. We'll do a raffle for free.
Got a family of 40 people. Where's my 40 shirts at, dog?
But yeah, we just want everybody to stay in tune with the website. All new and fresh information. And you can go to the website if you want to hear these songs. As we release the songs, they'll be on the website as well. Excellent. So if you don't go to Apple or iTunes or Spotify or any of those where you can also find the song. Just go right to shatteredaspirations.com. Take a quick listen. Let us know what you think. The next release will be Tell Me What You Want In, featuring Sarah Bad Williams on vocals. That's the next song to be released, and one of my personal favorites, and we're expecting it to do pretty well.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Anybody that you got, all your people watching, anybody, we're always looking for people to join the family. So if you are looking to, be a music, release some music is one thing, but also we're looking for videographers, other people that kind of feeling, because we're doing a lot of different things.
Okay.
Yeah,
sounds good.
We are working on videos as well. So
web designers, just send your information out to me.
Okay. All right. What about you, Corey? I know you've been in and out, man.
Yeah, I'm moving around, man. My apologies, I'm moving around. Yeah, my social media stuff is out there. I have a Facebook and my YouTube and all that good stuff. You can find me on Facebook, Corey Brown, or you can just put in the search box Virtuosoul, and it should pull up the band page.
Okay.
It may come up saying the band Virtuosoul. So it's VIRTUOSOUL.
All right.
Yeah, they're going to have a song. Go ahead, sorry.
Stay tuned, and we'll be coming to a city near you.
Hamlet Place. That's going to be their first single.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. I can't wait, man. But all right. So
yeah, man. I know you were down in Virginia, but you ever want to come up this way, swing on by.
Yeah, y'all in Maryland. Y'all
yeah.
But yeah, definitely I would love to come through and just say hi. Get in the studio and learn some more. You
put some beats down, put a microphone in front of you.
Oh man.
You're welcome. You're always welcome.
Thank you so much, y'all. All right. Well, so with all that said, have a good one.